Hey, hey. Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Dude, that's a gnarly impact on your leg there.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great still, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man,
Is
thank you so much for getting on here, dude.
yeah, no problem, buddy. No
I'll let
problem.
you
My
get
living room is not exactly set up for a workout, so I had to move some stuff around. So that's why I'm standing here in front of the computer.
Oh, gotcha. Well, do you want to get settled? Do you want to sit down? Or
All right. Yeah, we can. Oh, there we go. All right,
Hey,
there we go.
where at in Missouri do you live?
Right now I'm living in Republic. We did own a farmhouse in Marshfield, and the hour commute once we had a kid was just a little too much every day.
Yeah.
So we sold our house like first day, real quick offer, accepted it, sold it, closed in like 20 days, and just we moved into an apartment June of last year, and we're done living in an apartment. So we closed on a house June 12th in Clever, Missouri, which is just right outside of Nixa.
Nice.
So we just bounce around the Springfield area.
Well, I'm guessing that was before this COVID-19 pandemic was hitting
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, for sure.
It's like right before. Uh, Wait, do I have that right? Is it now like would now be the cheapest time to buy a house, or would it be more expensive because of
Right now is the cheapest time for interest rates.
yeah.
So interest rates are super low. So right now is a great time to buy if you're in a spot that you can. And luckily for me, the company I work for, I've worked this whole time. So we've not seen any loss of income. So we've been pretty blessed there.
Oh, nice. What do you do, man? What's your
Uh, I'm a I'm a manager for a team of 50 people for the T-Mobile Wireless, and so we we did service the Cleveland, Ohio area, but with COVID-19, we no longer have a market assignment. We just have a customer base of 55,000 accounts that we service. So
yeah,
it's
T-Mobile?
it's
That's
an
that's my
interesting gig for sure.
yeah, that's my service,
I
T-Mobile.
love it.
Yeah, we got
It's
the
awesome.
after my girlfriend moved in, we paired up and
Yeah,
gives you the free Netflix.
yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, man, yeah, worked out. I think yeah, we're spending something like $30 less each. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
We're about 30
that's
bucks.
nice. I know I love the company I work for. They give me a lot, but sometimes the service, like in rural Missouri, is awful. Like going home to visit the family, it's like, oh God, if I go to Walmart, I no longer have connection. So it's
Yeah.
spotty down here.
How far is Republic from West Plains?
Well, it's like an hour and a half. It's not too far.
Nice.
Far enough away that I don't have to worry about anybody just popping up and showing up.
Well, man, I wanted to well, I guess first off to start off with you just talking about your journey. I'd like you to speak on your understanding of what health and fitness means to you personally, and maybe how it's grown or changed over time. Since the start of your journey to now. And it's a kind of
Yeah, I
loaded. We can
mean,
kind of
so
we can kind of unpack it as we go along, if that's cool with you. And I mean, and obviously,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
if you're not uncomfortable answering any questions, no big deal. Like if it gets personal or whatever. Um,
I don't think there's anything you'd ask that I wouldn't answer. So Yeah. So for me, health and fitness was something that, well, I've struggled with weight my whole life. Um, Again, like I've known you since we were tiny kids. So, well, I was tiny, or you were tiny. I wasn't so tiny, but uh, as a kid, I struggled with weight my whole life. It was never really an issue though, because I was able to do whatever I want. I still played sports, played football, baseball. No real issues. I didn't see my weight as an issue really until my senior year when I broke my ankle, and trying to heal up to get
I
back
remember
into
that.
shape was, it sucked. It was so hard. It was just an issue trying to walk at first, going to physical therapy, trying to walk with the added weight I gained from breaking my ankle because I was already a big guy. I was 285 when I broke my ankle. And by the time I was back on my feet, I was about 330. So it was definitely something that was kind of eye opening. It was like, man, I'm can't do this. This is too much weight. I got to lose some weight. So I started dieting, and I actually got an offer to go play semi-pro football. Fallon.
Oh,
So the deal was, I got up there. I had a walk-on tryout with the team. I made the team as an offensive lineman, and I had never played offense in my life. Hated it. Thought it was stupid. But I was just so big, and at 6'4", they were like, "Hey, you'll make a great tackle." I said, "All right, cool." And then the strength and conditioning coach was like, "I want to trim you down a little bit. We got to take you from 330 to let's say around 300 would be a good spot for you. You can carry that weight." And I was able to get the weight off. Ended up getting down to about 285 again, and they moved me to defensive tackle um, shortly after I hurt my knee, and it ended my football career. And so I would just was lost. Like I was still eating like I was training for football. I
yeah.
was still, I would work out once or twice a week, not like I was. So I was eating, 4,000 calories a day with not burning even, you know, living, I was burning close to 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. But outside of that, I wasn't burning anything else other than, just working. So I bounced around trying to find jobs and just, doing the thing. Actually got with a girl. I got engaged to get married, and that all went south. And I started drinking a lot, like I had before. And so drinking led to, all night benders, McDonald's at 2 o'clock in the morning, Waffle or Huddle House, not Waffle House, but Huddle House. Just nasty, greasy food all hours of the night, and then sleeping till 10 o'clock in the morning, getting up, working night shift, getting off night shift, going and drinking, doing it all over again. And so I had got the highest recorded weight I ever know was 450 pounds or 452 pounds, because it's as high as our scale would go. So I meet my wife. This is a few years later. I've battled addiction with alcohol, um, extremely obese. I meet my wife actually in a bar parking lot because she was with my little brother and his ex-wife, who's her sister, to pick me up from the bar. So I meet her, we start dating, and she pretty much saved my life because we were 6 months together, and she said, "Hey, I'm moving to Springfield. I want to go to school. I would love it if you move with me."
Mm.
2 days after that, I had it planned to propose to her, to ask her to marry me. So we get engaged, and then we moved to Springfield. And I was working construction at the time, so I was working all over the U.S. doing welding. And every job I went to, the harder it got. Like climbing up a unit. So we're talking climbing a ladder 300 feet up at 450 pounds was taxing, to say the least. Not to mention carrying 100 pounds of gear on my back to get up the ladder. So I was working. We moved up here. I worked for a year on the road still. Was enjoying it. Life was good. I was still overweight, but I was working out now. I was working out 4 to 5 times a week. I started with walking, and then I moved on to some weightlifting, some cardio. So my whole background in fitness at that point was just what I had learned from playing football and doing strength and conditioning. So
Yeah.
it was, I needed to be running, I needed to be lifting heavy weights, and, any kind of stretching, yoga, all that was nonsense. I didn't need any of it. It wouldn't help me. So I was just, doing bro sessions and trying to run, and at 450 pounds, running is hard on your body. So I stress fractured my foot right before a job because I was too big to be trying to run distance. So I stress fractured my foot. I think it's healed. I go on this job, and it's a 3-month job. We're going to Gulf Shores, Mississippi. We're going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then we're finishing in Connecticut. Well, we make it through. I make it through the job in Gulf Shores, and I'm beat. I worked a month, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and I'm just wiped. I feel like I'm going to die because I'm just so exhausted. I just barely walk. And we get to Baton Rouge, and they tell us, hey, we're going to work 7-14s. So we're going to work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day for the next 2 weeks. Okay, cool. It's great money. First day on the job, I'm take a step to go down the stairs on a unit, and I take a step, and I feel my foot crack. And I stress fractured my foot again. I limped around on it for a week. My boss sent me to a doctor because I wouldn't go, but he sent me to a doctor, and went in, they x-rayed it, and they said, well, yeah, I mean, that much weight walking on uneven surfaces, you were bound to have something happen. So I got laid off and sent home. I got home, me and my fiance, my wife, she's my fiance at the time, talked about, maybe this isn't the life, you being gone all the time, maybe we find something different. So I started looking for jobs, couldn't really find anything. Did a little seasonal work here and there at a couple of retail stores, one of them being Academy Sports, which was kind of funny. There was a couple of guys there that were talking to me about health and fitness that are now both personal trainers, but they were trying to, get me on board with them. And I'm like, I don't really want to do what you guys are doing. And at the time, it's funny, they were both doing CrossFit. And so I was like, no, that stuff looks stupid. I don't think that's for me. I would never do any of that.
I was just thinking about you said Academy Sports, and I was thinking West Plains, but that's not in West Plains.
No, Springfield.
Yeah.
And so I started working at T-Mobile. Funny. I just told my wife, I was like, this is just going to be a job to get us through until I find something better, find a welding job. And now 7 years later, I've promoted 4 different times into middle management, and it's turned into a career. But I actually, T-Mobile, I started making some connections with some guys there that were, some of them are bodybuilders, some of them are strong men, some of them are just avid gym rats. And I started connecting to these guys and talking to them because, we had a lot of interest in common. They were, ex-athletes, they love sports. So we start talking about, what it looks like. What are you doing to stay in shape? Hey, how's your weight loss going? What's going on? One of them, he was like, man, he's like, I'll be honest with you. He's like, I need someone to go to the gym with me. He's like, I've been going by myself. I need a gym partner. Come with me. I'm like, all right, I'll go with you. And we started working out, and he's a former PT officer from the Army. So he's got quite a vast knowledge of health and fitness and just nutrition. And we start getting into it, and he was like, man, you know a lot of stuff. He's like, what's the deal? How come you're not losing weight? Like, you know all this. Why? I was like, it's just the discipline, man. I don't have it. Honestly, I'll do good for a month and lose 30 pounds, and then I'll derail myself because I get sick of my diet. And he's like, man, I would tell you, he's like, write your own diet. He's like, what works. He's like, write something that you can stick to. And so this was 2016. I wrote a diet for myself with something that I was like, I did a lot of research about macronutrients, and to be honest with you, at that point, it didn't really make sense what macros were or how they were. I just did all the research, like reading into this would make sense, this would make sense. And then the numbers were off. If I look at them now compared to what they were then.
I imagine it just gets tedious.
There was a reason I lost some weight because those numbers were decent for someone my size. Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying trying to go through all those numbers. So I write the diet and I'm like, I can follow this. This is easy. This is something I love. It still incorporated some breads, some whole grains, fruits, vegetables, meats. I even have a section that tells you what you can eat if you are out and about and you can't meal prep or have time.
Mm.
So it's something I followed religiously. I lost the first 100 pounds, and it was like, hey, this is going.
Wait,
Got lazy, got promoted a couple times, got lazy, schedule changed, quit working out.
well, with your diet that you wrote yourself, you said, did you have to? Oh no, you're cutting out now. You'll probably come back. Um, I don't know if you can. There you are. Did you have so with writing your own diet? Did you have to count your own calories like all the
Yeah,
time? Okay.
yeah, all the time. It was like counting my own calories. And really my diet was just really the only other thing I counted. I didn't count my protein, which was dumb in hindsight, but I counted carbs and fats were the two things that I monitored along with my calories. And I mean, it was pretty effective. Like I said, I lost the first 100 pounds that way. And it was something that I really, really enjoyed. And then like I said, I got promoted and I got lazy. So I stopped following the diet. I did stop working out for 6 months totally.
Wow.
And in 6 months, if you stop working out and you stop dieting, you can gain back 95 pounds pretty easy.
Wow.
And so I gained back 95 pounds in a matter of 6 months. Got sick, had to have my gallbladder removed. That doctor told me, he said, hey man, you're 20, I think it was 28, 29. He said, if you want to live to be 35, you've got to lose at least 100 pounds or you're going to die. He's like, I'm not going to lie to you. He goes, you're fat. You are in awful shape.
Ugh.
Okay. I understand that. So I started looking into weight loss surgeries to see what that would look like. Went through that whole process. Had weight loss surgery. At the time that I had weight loss surgery, I was 365 pounds. I was expected to get to 300 pounds. That
What
was
surgery was that?
bypass.
Hmm.
So they expected me to get down to 300, maybe 285. They said anything after that, it would just be that I would have to work my butt off to get there because I had already lost 100 pounds before surgery. So losing 200, and an additional 150 pounds would be ludicrous and impossible. So I was like, okay, well, if I told my wife, I said, if I get to 300 pounds, I'll be happy if I'm 300 pounds the rest of my life. I said, I can move at 300 pounds. I'll be functional. That's great. She's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. I have surgery. I'm just released to get active. I stepped in a hole and blew my knee out. And
Oh,
so it's 2 months after having surgery, and I completely blow my knee out. Go to the doctor, and they weigh me to see how much I weigh for surgery, which I thought was weird because it was knee surgery, but I weighed 310 pounds. So in 2 months, I had dropped almost 50 pounds. And I look at my wife, and I'm like, okay, they said I can't get below this. I said, so, goal is let's get this surgery done and get me back on my feet so I can prove them wrong. She's like, okay. I have surgery. Surgery goes fine. And then 2 weeks after surgery, I started having a lot of problems with my leg, and it's swelling up to 3 times its size.
oof.
No one in the Cox Health system here in Springfield could tell me what was going on. Actually, the doctor that figured out what was going on was your dad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I couldn't get any answers up here. So I hadn't
God.
been to your dad in years. So I call his office and I'm like, hey, I used to be a patient of Dr. Bowles. I know he's partially retired. He's only working part-time.
Oh my
I
God.
need to get in and see him. And they're like,
That-
okay.
My,
So
my,
I drive down there
my
on a
dad never
day's
told me.
notice.
By the way, that's
Yeah.
my girlfriend
So
behind
I
me.
go in and I'm not joking.
So you
I
go in.
walk in and your dad looks at my leg and feels on it, and he goes, "I think you have rheumatoid arthritis." And I said, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I think you had the weight on for so long that it masked it and you never noticed it because you were just sore because you thought, hey, I'm too big." He goes, "I think you have rheumatoid arthritis." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Well," he's like, "let me get you a specialist in Springfield and let's get you in." And so your dad gives me some medicine to get me through to get my leg to go down. And sure enough, it
I have to
rheumatoid
call my dad.
arthritis all throughout my body.
I have to call my dad after this. That's wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
he was the one that figured it out, man. And he's like, wow. He's like,
I mean, I guess when you think about it, it's just that simple. Like right. He just kind of figured it out
yeah.
from yeah.
Yeah. He was just like, he's like, you've been so big for so long.
So you went to see the specialist.
Yeah. I go into the specialist and I've seen him. I'm seeing the orthopedic surgeon to get my knee right. I'm in physical therapy, and I go to the specialist, the rheumatologist, and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "You're a big guy still," and I'm like, "Yeah, I get it." He's like, "I would recommend." He's like, "With the way your body looks with the arthritis throughout, because they scan my whole body." He's like, "Your joints are the age of probably your parents." He's like, "You have the joints of a 60-year-old man." He's like, and honestly, he's like, "I don't see you ever being able to play any kind of sport again, not even recreation softball." He's like, "So as your knee heals, he's like, let's take it slow. Let's, do some walking, some stuff like that." Well, at the same time, the physical therapists are like, "Hey, we need to start getting you active." So they're putting me through workouts and physical therapy to get my body reacclimated, get my legs strengthened. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying this because I'm starting to lose weight again." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, here we go."
Yeah.
So I
You almost have two different
I get
messages.
back on my feet.
You almost have two different messages from those different clinics, and it's right. Like one's being really discouraging, like you're not gonna
Yeah.
work out, you're not gonna do recreational stuff ever again. It's like, thanks, guys. Yeah, that's really encouraging. But then the physical therapy is like, let's get you active.
Yeah, at 31 years old, I'm being told by a rheumatologist that I'm never going to be active again. And at this point, my wife is pregnant. So, or she's, no, we are getting ready to have our kid. So we have our baby, which she'll be 3 this next month. She'll be 3 this month. So I'm a
Yeah.
father of a little girl. I'm told I'm never going to be active again. I have to, take everything slow. Playing with my daughter is going to be limited. And at this point, I was 450 pounds. At this point, I'm 300 pounds. I'm like, "Guys, I've lost 150 pounds. Why are you telling me that I'm going to be limited?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
I'm half my size. Like, stop it." And so I'm like, "Well, this is insane. I'm not trying to hear any of this noise." So I start listening to the physical therapist, and they're like, your muscles coming back really fast in your legs. You have to finish therapy for that knee. Like, it's imperative that you finish it, because they also told me that my ACL was degenerating. They didn't fix it because it didn't completely tear. The ACL is just degenerating. It'll heal up. Everything else is fixed. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, the more weight you lose, the better that ACL will get. Great, cool. So I'm good. Finished physical therapy, and my cousin at this time had started CrossFit, and he's 8 years younger than I am, and he's always, we've always tried to do stuff competitively. Like, obviously, we didn't play sports growing up together because of the
Yeah.
age gap, but he always tried to compare himself, and he's a lot more athletic than I am, always has been. But we always competed in some way, one or another. I mean, I loved playing against him when we were basketball when we were kids because I was so much taller than him. I could just keep him down. But he starts CrossFit, and he's like, "Man," he's like, "I really think you should try it. I think you'd enjoy it. It's fun." He's like, "It will remind you of football." He's like, I really think you would enjoy it. And I'm like, maybe. But at this point, I'm down to 240 pounds. And I'm just in the gym doing bro sessions all the time. I'm getting hit up from my doctor that did my surgery, telling me, hey, you're doing awesome. You've far exceeded anything we ever expected. We'd like to use you as a spotlight patient. This is crazy. Oh, great. Cool. Whatever. I still feel like I want to lose more weight. And he's like, I wouldn't recommend it. You're probably plateaued. You should probably stay around 240. And I'm like,
doc.
yeah, no, I don't want to be 240. I want to be smaller. And so I'm doing bro sessions every day with a buddy of mine from work. We're working out, we're running. I get down to, I got down, the lowest I got was 199. So I broke the 200 mark for like a couple of weeks. And then I sat around 205 for a year. It just 205 was where I was at. That felt good. I was eating to stay right there. No fluctuation in weight at all. And then I start CrossFit, and I'm like, man, I fell in love with it instantly. I'm like, I enjoy this stuff. It's great. These workouts are awesome. It does feel like football. I'm about 3 months in, and I'm talking to my cousin. I'm like, man, I really want to do a competition. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'm in. So we find a team competition. It's 2 partners. And this is September of 2019. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, let's do it. So we sign up. We train for, we had 2 months to train. We trained for 2 months before the competition. Competition gets here. We ended up taking second in our first competition, which was pretty awesome. A great feeling. And after that, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, so I just found my sport, what I'm going to train for daily now. So I get the bug, man. I'm training. The wife's going to CrossFit with me. She's loving it. She's not quite wanting to do any kind of competitions or anything because she never really had the competitive edge. She played basketball in school, but she doesn't really want to compete. And I'm like, man, this gives me a reason to train harder. So I, start training 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 days a week to compete. And, I start feeling like I'm running out of gas. I feel like I'm running out of just steam. I'm getting gassed at an hour of working out. It's not normal for me. Because at this point, I've done so much cardio leading up to CrossFit.
When you say you're getting gas, is that also include after your workout throughout the day? Or are you completely like fatigued?
Feeling drained, man. Not feeling great, and I'm like, man, I'm supplementing right. I don't understand what's going on. So one of the coaches from our gym, she actually branched out on her own, and she has a team of athletes she coaches, and she does nutrition coaching as well. She's a nutritionist. And I hit her up and I was like, hey, I'm getting outperformed by some of your athletes that shouldn't be able to outperform me. What's your secret? And she's like, well, their nutrition's on point. She's like, what are you eating? I kind of gave her the macros that I had came up with on my own. And she's like, oh, well, no wonder you're tired. She's like, you're not eating nearly enough carbs. And I was like, well, I get that, but I had weight loss surgery. I'm supposed to kind of limit my carbs. And she's like, you were supposed to limit your carbs for the first year. She's like, I've never had a weight loss surgery patient. She's like, but I can tell you from the other people I know that have weight loss surgery, you're not like them. Okay, well, let's try it. So I started working with her, joined her team. This was 6-7 months ago. Right at the end of the year, I joined her team, and I'm not lying, man, like changing my macros to fit exactly what I needed to perform. I never get gas now. I always have energy. I mean, there are the days that my daughter keeps me up all night because she won't sleep. Those days kind of suck. But from a nutrition standpoint, eating to perform is exactly what I need. It gives me the energy I need. It's helped me. And so I set a goal 2 months ago to gain 20 pounds in muscle and try to get up to about 220, 225. and I'm sitting at 221 right now. And now we're just working on body composition, really. So I started out 452 pounds, and now I've worked to a point where I wanted to gain weight, which I never thought was going to happen. So now I'm up to 221, just trying to turn that body composition of what I have into the ideal body that I want. Obviously, having weight loss surgery and any extreme weight loss, anyone that loses over 100 pounds is going to have loose skin. So that's something that I'm dealing with now. Just in my midsection, though, my legs are exactly what they're not, my calves aren't as big as I'd want, but they're a loose skin. Skin's tight. Arms are good. It's just my midsection. I've got the loose skin. And then my chest, like my pecs, like I can flex my pecs and you can see my pec, but then there's loose skin hanging off of it because I lost that much weight. Yeah. So that's something that I'm dealing with. There's actually a CrossFitter that he's kind of famous with a YouTube page, Obese to Beast. And he does his workouts without his shirt on to show how proud he is of that. And I'm like, I'm not quite that comfortable. But it's something now that nutrition and health, like they are the two things that mean the most to me in my life for my family's sake. Because, just 3 years ago, right before my daughter was born, it was a fact of I couldn't walk up and down stairs without getting winded. And now with the health and fitness, like my daughter sees us work out every single day. She's there, especially with COVID. We've just been at my training partner's house. So I did a competition in February. It was a 4-person team. And one of my teammates from there, we have a competition next month. And we've just been training in her driveway. And so my daughter has learned how to do burpees, and she loves doing squatties. And she knows how to do push-ups and planks. So she's just in the driveway working out with us daily during this COVID-19 craziness. So it's just health and fitness has kind of just taken priority. And it's a family affair. She gets to watch mom and dad work out every day. And it's something that my wife, she's working with my coach as well. It's just something that she, when we got together, she was a lot healthier than I was. She was working out every day and walking. And at that point I was doing nothing but drinking and eating and working. And so for her, it's just kind of that resurgence back into what she already knew. And she's loving it. She actually hurt her knees about 6 months into CrossFit, and it kind of dialed it back. And since COVID-19 started 2 months ago, she's became a beast. She's right there with us every day, training just like she's going to go to the competition. So it's been really good. But yeah, man, health and fitness, it's something that people lose track of as life goes on because you get busy. And it's not easy to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Anyone that says it's easy is lying. I mean, you and I both know it. It's not easy. You do it because you have to. You do it because you need to. You do it because it's what's best for you, best for your family.
Man, that's an amazing transformation. Yeah, and I think you answered a lot of the questions, the follow-up questions I had just from all that. And dude, thank you for sharing all that. It's I'm just thinking about like how much of that time you spent like almost, I mean, it almost just seems like there was all this chaos, right? And you somehow managed to sift through it all and go, okay, this is what I need to do, and you just did it. And I mean, not to make it seem that simple, but like I feel like, and maybe you would agree, people get, I don't know, people look at health and fitness as a destination, and it's just not. You don't get to a certain point and then stop what you're doing. It just doesn't work that way. It's a lifestyle.
No, absolutely. It's daily. It's what, I mean, it's just crazy to think that, and I, even had that mindset when I lost the first 100 pounds. Well, if I hit this number, I'm good. Life's normal. Well, no, not at all. I posted yesterday on my IG about consistency is key. And I think that's where people lose the focus, because they'll hit that goal number that they had, that they set. Hey, I'm going to get down 40 pounds. They lose that 40 pounds. And at that point, it's like, hey, now I'm good. Do what I want.
Yeah.
Well, you can do what you want physically because you're at that place to where your body will move, but you've got to eat normal now to maintain that. And that's the problem, because people will hit that goal. And I have friends that are even in the fitness industry that struggle with weight, and they'll set a goal and they'll hit a goal. And then I'll see them post their celebration. They hit their goal and they've ordered pizza and they've went and got ice cream. And I'm like, man, that's great. Good job. Now, tomorrow you're gonna be back at it? Oh yeah, tomorrow I'll be back on it. I see them a week later and they've got a McDonald's cup in their hand. I'm like, man, how's it going? Oh, well, I've just been off all this week, so I'll get back on it on Monday. Okay. I understand that. I was like, I just could give you a little advice. Monday happens every week. So, you could start right now. Oh yeah, I've already blown today.
Well, what would you say to people who are just like, oh, I don't have enough energy, or like they make all, they make all the excuses they can just to not focus on being healthy, or yeah, just being more healthy and staying fit. What would you say to people who are like, oh, I just don't have the energy, I can't do it?
Go walk. Walk an extra 100 yards. Start small. I mean, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have that same minutes in an hour. We all have the time to find time to do something extra. If fitness and health aren't paramount in your life, I mean, I would tell you, you got to find 30 minutes a day at least to move. You've got to do something. Your body was not meant to sit in an office chair for 8 hours a day and then sit on a couch for another 4 hours and then go to bed. Human body's not made for that.
Yeah.
You've got to find the time to move. I've heard every excuse in the book, and I've made every excuse. I'm tired. I don't have time. There's always time. There's a 30-minute window that anyone can get.
Well, and just something that sticks out to me from listening to your story is all the fucking struggle you've been through and overcame. People, like, it bugs the shit out of me. I almost find it offensive if somebody's like, I don't have energy. It's like, and I look at your story and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't have energy. Dude, like you managed to struggle with alcoholism, overweight, all your injuries. And it's like, so it's just, that it bugs me. It's hard for me not to get frustrated when people make that excuse. It's like bullshit. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have enough energy to go on a 30-minute walk. What the hell?
It's like, but you have enough energy to get up and walk to your fridge, or drink a 12-pack and then still stay up all night, right? You have energy to
right,
do all
exactly.
That. What would you say then? Like, what would you say? Like, let's say, I mean, because obviously we don't always want to work out all the time, right? It's like sometimes we have to talk ourselves into it. In fact, most of the time, that's probably the case. Is like you got to force yourself to do something you don't want to do. It's not comfortable. You gotta get up and move around, and you would rather, sit on your couch and watch something. But what would you say motivates? Like, what keeps you motivated to do that? You might have already answered that question, actually, as far as what keeps you motivated.
I mean, for me, it's just the fact of I have this 3-year-old little girl that's looking at me. Every single thing I do is an example to her of what she's going to grow up to be, or even the man that she's going to be with one day. And I don't ever want her to look at me and see me as lazy. or see me not try my hardest at every single thing I do. I I mean, and honestly, there's days that I'm like, I do not want to do this. I'll get the programming from my coach and I'll see the workout and I'm like, this looks awful. I don't want to do a heavy set of deads and build to a 1 rep max and then do a Metcon. That sounds absolutely awful. I don't want to die today. And I'll honestly, so as a CrossFitter, I probably shouldn't say this, but I am the worst person in the world to actually warm up. I will go cold straight into a workout and just grab the bar and go. So if I get to where I'm getting ready to work out and I just feel like I can't do it, if my daughter's not with me, I will grab my phone and look at her picture because she is my why. She is the reason that I get my butt out of bed in the morning. I put on my shoes and I'll go run. She's the reason that I pick up the barbell half the time. Like, she is the reason I get out and do it. And I would urge anyone to find a why. If you don't have kids, you have a goal. You have something you want out of life. If you never want kids, cool. But there's if there's not a monetary thing, there's a physical thing, there's there's an object you want. Being healthy can help you in any way. Being healthy can help your career. I mean, I went from being in lower management, overweight, being presumed as lazy, even having a great work ethic. I was presumed to be lazy because I was so big, to, and this is awful, I started losing weight. I started getting more opportunities. I was seen as someone that was be able to do more. They wouldn't have to worry about me being sitting at my desk falling asleep, while I'm trying to work. Like, I got more opportunities the more weight I lost. And not that that's even on the company. That's that's a bias, but that's just the way it is.
Would you say, as far as that goes, it's made you, would you say that your journey has made you more aware as a person? I mean, even to some extent, your perspective is, I feel like, deeper than, I mean, people who haven't gone through weight loss. I mean, I'm not somebody who has that perspective that you have. Like, you've seen what people, like, how people view you, and I think I don't think that's necessarily a good thing either. I mean, it doesn't make, like, you being viewed as lazy just because you're overweight. That couldn't have felt good.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I mean, did it
No,
make you,
definitely not.
like, on some level, were you like, on some level, do you just want to punch those people in the face every time you felt that from somebody?
Oh
Or
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it motivated me. Like, it pissed me off to where I knew I was going to move forward in my career no matter what anybody said. And honestly, the same rheumatologist, I still go to him. He's great. I mean, he's the one your dad recommended, so I trust him. But every time I go in and see him, he asks, "How are you doing? How's CrossFit? I can't believe you're doing CrossFit." And it's, man, it's great. I love it. He's like, "I don't know how you're doing it, but keep doing it."
That's awesome. Well, are you still, the arthritis, is it as bad, way better? Just, you feel it every day, or no?
Oh man, it's way better. In my right knee, the one that I had surgery on last, I feel it every other day. But the rest of my body, like my back, where I broke my back, I don't feel it there. Unless I do heavy deadlift, and then I feel it a little bit. My right ankle that I had surgery on, I can feel it after a good sprint workout, but it goes away quick. The joints in my body, they haven't reversed age, but they haven't advanced any further. So I still have old man joints. I don't think they're as old as they thought they were to begin with.
Yeah.
But it hasn't really hindered me. I do a lot more stretching now than I ever did. I didn't think I would ever need to stretch or it would help, but it has definitely loosened my joints. Joint health is a big deal too to me now. And that's the thing. Like, once you get into health and you start figuring things out, there's so many different channels and different ways you can go with keeping your body healthy. I mean, so, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation, but
Well, how
it's something
important?
that just,
No, no, go ahead. You finish.
it's just something that, as you, for anyone that's losing weight, I would encourage you, the more weight you lose, you start researching everything about your body personally that you don't like, or that is a problem issue or area, and you can probably find something on it that will help you target that while you're on your weight loss journey.
Um, how important would you say it is to find something, no matter what, like you said, walking earlier, but something that you enjoy doing, uh,
Oh,
and that's active, like no matter what it is.
yeah, that's the biggest thing. Find a hobby or an interest that's just doing something active, and you'll enjoy doing it. You're more apt to go out and do it. I mean, for me, I absolutely hate just going into a gym and doing buys and tries and just the normal bro sessions. I absolutely hate that. It's boring.
Every day is chest day, man.
Kills me.
Every day is chest day.
Yeah, that stuff kills me. I can't do it. I get bored with it. I don't sweat doing that. Like, I can lift as heavy as I need to go and I won't sweat because it's so much time in between. And so
Yeah,
honestly, for me, the things I found were Olympic weightlifting and CrossFit. So those are the things I enjoy. But you've got to find something that you enjoy that's going to keep you active, whether that's hiking. I know this time of year, a lot of people want to hike. That's a popular thing. It's beautiful outside for the most part. Go hike. You social distance while you hike. So go do that.
yeah.
But you just got to find a hobby that's going to keep you active, because otherwise you're not going to do it. You're not going to stick with something you dislike for a long amount of time.
Do you have a favorite exercise or routine?
Favorite exercise. So my favorite workout is DT, which is a deadlift, power clean, push press workout, 21, 15, 9 with
Ooh,
burpees in between. That's my favorite workout. Actually, my favorite workout of all time is Murph. So it's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and a mile run.
wow.
Do it on Memorial Day in honor of Michael Murphy. That's my favorite workout ever, just because it's a hero workout. And that movie Lone Survivor, it's based off of that guy. So it's a pretty good workout. But man, just I'll be honest, and this is gonna sound weird because most people hate it, but burpees are probably my favorite movement.
Full body. I mean,
Yeah,
moving.
it
You're
works
moving
everything.
everywhere.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's just, just moving. I never thought I'd be the person that hated sitting still. And I can tell you, when we moved in this apartment, I think I about drove my wife crazy the first couple weeks, because I would just be in and out of the door going for walks around the apartment complex. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have nothing to do here. I don't have a yard. I don't have any work to do. So I'm just going to go walk." Okay, well, that's weird, but have fun.
Oh man. Um, did you ever doubt that you could do any of this? I
Oh,
think you
yeah.
kind of answered that earlier too, but I mean, were there any? Maybe what I want you to kind of touch on is, were there ever any like times, or like a specific time that was way harder to convince yourself that you know you could do it, that like you felt like just giving up completely, and how was that?
Yes. So it was probably 6 months after they diagnosed me officially with RA. I had started taking medicine for it, and I was hurting. Like, the medicine wasn't helping. I would just be in constant pain, and I probably went 3 days without a workout. Was just feeling absolute sorry for myself. Didn't want to be active. Didn't want to do anything. I was just I made every excuse and let myself accept every excuse as fact that I couldn't do it anymore, and that I was just, this is too painful. I guess I'll just have to deal with where I'm at physically now. Never going to get any better. I'm good right here. I'm not going to worry about it. This is life. 230 pounds, no muscle mass at all. This is who I am. I'll be happy right here. I don't care. And I literally was just like, I was verge on depression. And my wife looked at me. I got home from work. She looked at me. She's like, "You want to go for a walk?" No, I'm in pain. I don't feel like walking. And she's like, "Wow, well, the guy I married told me when he blew his knee out that he was going to run again, and he did." She's like, "That same guy also told doctors that he was going to play softball again, and he did." She was kind of weird that same guy's being a little crybaby about a little bit of pain. And I
Wow.
was like, "What did you just say to me?" She's like, "I said you're being a crybaby. You're feeling sorry for yourself." She's like, "For no reason. You're in a little bit of pain. It'll be okay. Let's go for a walk." And I was mad. I was like, "You know what? No, you go. You and Ella go for a walk. I'm gonna stay home. I don't care." And they weren't 100 yards out of the driveway, and I was trying to catch up to them because it had made me mad.
Yeah,
And
sometimes you need that.
that went on for about a week and a half of me I would feel motivated and not want to do it. I mean, even last week, talking about not wanting to do it, we got to my training partner's house, and we had officially got word that the competition was going to happen in June. But I'd
You were
had a
like, "Oh
crap
man."
day at work, was just frustrated. I did not feel like working out. I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even know why I got in the car with my wife to even go, because I didn't want to go. I think my body just took over and was like, "Hey, this is what we normally do. We're going to work out."
Yeah.
I didn't want to. We got there to her house, and they started warming up, and they were getting the barbells out. And I just was standing back in the corner. Actually, I was sitting in the corner, sitting on a bench. And they were like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't feel like doing this today. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. You guys go ahead and work out, and I'm going to hang out." And they looked at me, and they're like, "No, you're going to work out." And I was like, I don't think so. I'm good today. I'm fine. I'm going to take an extra rest day. We're good. And my training partner looked me in the eyes and said, "Stop being a little bitch." I said, "Well, okay. Well, that's,
All right, asshole.
I guess if that's how you want to approach this, that's how we're going to approach it then." And she said, "Pick up that damn bar and let's go." Okay, let's do this. And it ended up being probably my best workout of the week, because I felt that fire the whole workout, because I'd just been called a little bitch.
Yeah. Oh man. What advice would you give, or what? Let's say top 3 tips that you would have for someone who is trying to lose weight.
Find a diet that you can follow. Find something you enjoy. There's so many diets out there right now that I personally wouldn't follow or wouldn't enjoy, but there's something for everybody. If you have trouble and you can't find a diet on your own that you don't like, hit up a nutrition coach. Most nutrition coaches are fairly cheap if they're only doing your diet. They're not doing any kind of programming for you. Hit a nutrition coach. I mean, they'll be able to personalize it for you, but whatever you got to do, find a diet you can stick to, because long term is exactly what it sounds like. It's long term. You're going to eat this way the rest of your life if you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So the first one would be diet. Find a diet you can do. Find a diet you can do for a year. If you can do it for a year, you can do it for the rest of your life. So it's something. Diet is the biggest thing. You got to find something you can do, something sustainable. And once you do reach your goals, like we've talked about, your diet's going to change. You're going to be able to add in stuff. You're going to be able to eat more. You're going to be able to change your macros. However you're doing, however you're monitoring what you're eating, you'll be able to change it. But you've got to find something that's sustainable. And then secondly, would be, don't do it alone. Don't try to lose weight. Don't try to work out on your own. Find someone that's either done it or is in the same journey as you, and do it with them. It's way more fun, way more rewarding when you have someone to share it with. You know, if a workout partner, a friend, a spouse, I mean, whatever, coworker, find someone that you can share this journey with, because it's going to be way more rewarding than what doing it on your own. Because you can tell yourself, good job. That's only going to get you so far. If you have someone to urge you the whole way, it's going to push you. You're going to feel like you're letting someone down if you slack off. So that's a huge thing. Your support system is huge for long-term success. And 3 would be, stop beating yourself up. Stop it. If you fail on your diet, fail. It's okay. 1 or 2 days of eating like crap is not going to derail months of progress. Move on. Once you have that crap meal and you accidentally ate that cheeseburger from Wendy's with the large fry and the Frosty, move on. It's fine. You don't even have to cheat the next meal. You can get right back on program. Your numbers are just going to look a little funny for one day. Just move forward. Too many people get hung up because they've screwed up that now everything is wrecked. Nothing is wrecked. You cannot work out for 2 weeks and absolutely lose no muscle at all. You can eat like crap for a week. You'll be fine. Get back on it. Start right after that last crappy meal. Get right back on it. Stop beating yourself up. Stop thinking it's the end of the world. It's not. I would tell anyone trying to lose weight. I have been the guy that started next Monday and, 1 cheat meal turned into a full week of crap eating. Just stop it. You had that one bad meal, next meal right back on plan. It's not a big deal. It's not going to derail anything. You're just going to make your numbers weird and your stomach's going to hurt. That's all it's going to do.
All right. Thanks, man. What advice would you give to trainers who are frustrated with their clients' resistance to change?
Find out why. Find out exactly what they got going on that's going to stop them from wanting to change. Unfortunately, it's a hard thing to do, because you got to really get into the psychology of the whole thing to figure out what's causing this person not to want to change. For me, I've always hated vegetables. So, and this is a small example, but when I wrote my diet, I wrote vegetables in there, and my wife was the one that enforced me to do it. She's like, here, eat this salad and see how you like it. Ended up getting me to love salads, but she knew why I didn't want to do it. She knew that I had vegetables for me. Just kind of had that mental thing that, as a fat kid, as a kid, I remember eating a salad and eating like 4 salads and getting made fun of for it. So in my mind, there's a bad memory attached to salad that if I eat this, I'm going to get called fat, even though it's a healthy thing. And at 31 years old, my wife was still having to tell me, hey, it's okay that you can eat that. No one's going to call you fat. And so there's always something that causes people not want to change. And any trainer, because that's got to be the most frustrating thing about training people. I'm not certified or anything. It's something that I may do someday. I have helped people on my own, and I had a kid that I was helping that reminded me a lot of myself. He was 21, wouldn't eat vegetables, only ate fast food, did not know how to. I knew how to cook at 21. He didn't know how to cook, wouldn't grocery shop. And I was even programming workouts for him. 3 weeks in a row, 3 workouts in a row, he didn't show up. He just stopped showing up. I asked him, like, man, why don't you want to change? He's like, well, I want to play my video games. It's, fitness doesn't really matter to me. And I'll be honest, I gave up on that kid. I shouldn't have, but, I felt like I was wasting my time.
He's 20.
At this point now, if he was to call me, I would get him on program and try to figure out exactly why he doesn't want to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of those. He's either gonna learn or he won't, right? He's young right now. Like you said, he's 21, so it's like he's got some ways. He's got some ways to go. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. All right, a fun question for you. What is your favorite movie or show?
Favorite movie or show? Favorite show right now is Yellowstone.
Is that on Netflix?
No, it's on Paramount Channel. It's about a rancher in Montana. It's pretty good. Favorite movie is still Varsity Blues. I feel I feel like we lived that movie when we were in high school, so I'll never forget that movie. It can bring back memories pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, Marcus, Beef and Bub, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I think didn't you guys all weld together? You guys were welding for a while?
Yeah, me and Bub, Beef went the EMT route.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were,
Bub's still doing that stuff.
when I was nose guard for a while, both of those guys were right next to you.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
Have you
And
seen Marcus recently?
no, I
Man, you
mean,
should
just
go
on,
check
on
his
Facebook.
you should go check his Facebook out.
Is he losing weight?
Oh my God, dude. You talk about another transformation. I think he's down to 230,
I bet you
235 or
inspired him
something
too.
like that. Yeah, he's doing great, man. We're trying to get Bub on the train to lose a little bit of weight. Bub's about 300 pounds. We're trying to get him to lose a couple pounds.
And I think he's like 6'4".
Oh yeah, but yeah, Bub's like 6'5". He's a big dude.
Man. Yeah, Bub called me Catfish. That was my I remember that was
Yeah,
my nickname. I
yeah.
enjoyed that. I appreciated that. So you like Catfish, you just slipping out from me. Um oh man. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
Man, not really. Just go out there and just do it. Like I can't. I've had people ask me the secret to my success. I've also had people that tell me I only lost weight because of weight loss surgery, and they say whatever they want. I've far exceeded any expectation of any weight loss surgery. Not to mention I have 100 pounds of weight loss on my own before that.
Yeah.
Uh, I would just tell anyone, go and do it. Just start. Just stop saying it'll start next week. Stop saying it'll start in a month. Stop saying it'll start after 4th of July or Memorial Day. Just start it. If that holiday comes, eat the freaking barbecue and drink your beers and keep moving forward. There's too many excuses. Life is way too short to say that I'm going to start this after this point or after this happens. Just start it. Just start and go. Life will go around your fitness, I promise. You can fit fitness into your life any way you want. You just got to make it the priority and do it. That doesn't have to be this big, oh my God, my life's over because I'm going to start this diet plan and I'm going to be working out, so I'm not going to have time to enjoy life. Like I said, I train 2 to 3 hours every day, except one day a week. And I still enjoy my life. I still get to see my family and friends. I still have a full career that demands my hours all the time. Like you have to do it. There's nothing else to it. Just go and do it. I mean, that's all there is.
Awesome. Would you say that there are any struggles? Are your struggles different today than they were like when you started your fitness journey, or are some of them the same?
Uh, some of them are the same, still, like I said, having that motivation some days, as we've talked about, there's days that it's like, I don't want to do this. This is not going to be fun. I'm going to hate this. I could just, sit here and watch this show on Netflix real quick before I do anything else and skip it. And then some of the struggles are different now. It's not, can I do this? It's, I start doing it and I want more. Sometimes the struggle is not knowing when to stop now. I sent you that picture of my leg. I did that on Monday. So my coach advised me this week, let's do a lot more bodybuilding type stuff with upper body, kind of avoid some of the traditional CrossFit stuff. We're going to avoid some Olympic lifting. So yesterday we did me, my training partner, my wife, we did a bro session, which I absolutely hated. But I was doing curls with the barbell with tens on it. And while I'm waiting on them to get ready, I just started doing some lightweight snatch form work. So I'm sitting here working on my form with snatch with a 65-pound barbell. And they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just working on some form stuff. And they're like, you're not supposed to do any kind of Olympic weightlifting or CrossFit for the next few days. What are you doing? I was like, well, this is 50 or 65 pounds. It's not heavy enough to hurt me. And they're like, seriously, stop. You're not supposed to be doing this right now. Just stop. And I'm like, yeah, but watch my form. Watch. It's getting better. And they're like, stop. You're not supposed to do this. So for me now, it's knowing when to stop. Or Mondays during all this, because Mondays are one of my days off. So I have Sundays and Mondays off. So Mondays, my wife is coined Murder Monday. Because we normally, like I said, we do 2 or 3 workouts a day. On Mondays, we got to the point where we're doing 4 workouts and then a weight vest 5K. And my wife looked at me last Monday and she's like, why is it necessary to go do a 5K? You've just done 4 workouts. I was like, yeah, but it's Monday. We're going to get better. And she's like, no, your leg is hurt. Why do you need to do a 5K? But you're not going to get any better doing that 5K. Your leg is going to be hurting that you're not going to want to do anything tomorrow. And I'm like, no, it's fine. But she was right. So now for me, the struggle is knowing when to stop. Or even rest days, honestly. That's been my biggest struggle for the last year, is knowing when to rest or if I should consistently rest. And my coach has been on me for 6 months that I need you to take a rest day once a week at least, the same day every week. So now that's Thursdays. Yeah, it's super important. And then sleep. Sleep is something I used to do a ton of because I was, overweight and always tired. Now it gets to the point of I'll get my workouts in. We'll have dinner as a family. Because I'm also going to school too. I'll do my homework. And then it is the point like, okay, well, hey, babe, you want to watch a show? Ella's asleep. Homework's done. You want to watch a show? And we'll start a show or a movie and we'll be 5 minutes in. She falls asleep. And I'll just stay awake and watch the movie. And then I'll go to bed and I'll check my sleep. I'll check my sleep tracker the next morning and my sleep score is like a 40 because I've got 3.5 hours of sleep and I'm right back at it. And I'm like, well, that was stupid. So, rest and sleep are the 2 struggles now that I didn't have then.
Yeah, I'm there with you though.
Yeah, the challenges are definitely different.
It's even if I'm really tired, it's hard for me to go to sleep when I'm watching a show. Like I want to finish. I want to stick through it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to just go to sleep. I'm in the middle of this. I'm going to watch it, and then I'll go to sleep.
Oh, man. Hey, well, this has been really awesome. Dude, seriously, thank you for being on here. And if you want to, I can send you a recording of this if you want to keep it just for yourself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have it for now. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, so I'll just keep you posted. But I mean, if anything, just to have it. I really enjoyed, man, having you on here and just talking and catching up. And that's so cool.
That's awesome, man.
That you went to see my dad. Yeah. I'm gonna send my dad this. He's gonna watch it.
He's the one that figured out what was wrong with me, man. It was awesome.
Mike, you have a beautiful day, dude.
You too,
hit me up anytime. Talk to you soon,
brother.